It's easy to say Adult Protective Services came in because of the filthy living conditions, but they had years because of the high profile of this family to step in. They didn't. Only until Eric and Patrick came along did a few months go by and they finally came in. So what eerie mysteries have been uncovered in such a short amount of time that led to the state taking action? If you're new to my channel, welcome. Here in this video, I'll provide a comprehensive update on the Whittaker family and why the state stepped in now to remove the beloved Ray, Lorene, and Timmy. I have the entire Whittaker family tree on my channel with an update adding additional family members to it as I learned about them. I also have an overview of Ray and Betty, so check those out. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more. Let me know in the comments who you want to see next. With the circumstances of Mark earlier this year, the Whittakers got Patrick and Eric coming into the equation. Let's begin with Patrick. Patrick says he grew up near Timmy just down the road and was in the same education program as him, so he was familiar with them. He started to film and post videos with Timmy and the rest of the family in 2025 after Mark exited the picture, but didn't hang out with Timmy when they were younger because Timmy was more of a handful back then. Timmy would walk to his house, and twice Patrick noticed, and that caught his attention. So he invited him to come over for a soda, and that kickstarted his enthusiasm to film their time together. Then Eric came along. Eric is the son of a pastor and is a big believer for fighting the rights of dads and father figures. Eric had a platform already helping others and a podcast, and he invited Patrick to come and talk. Then, after talking, Patrick invited Eric to come on board and be a part of his endeavor. For the next few months, Eric and Patrick collaborated together. They posted videos on their own channels and Facebook pages. Eric wanted to really show the human side of the family and remove the freaky family stigma surrounding them. He and Patrick tried to get the Whittakers a new house with the help of the Amish coming together to build it for them. He did a small campaign of $3,000 to raise money for necessities for the Whittakers and even spending one-on-one time with Timmy, giving the youngest member of the family a little bit more freedom, all the while posting content and trying to be transparent. By August and September of the same year, cracks started to appear, not just with the Whittakers, but with Patrick too. So let's start with Patrick. The money which Eric tried to be as transparent as possible with went missing. While trying to set up a trust, Patrick was supposed to safeguard it. 2/3 of it was deposited, however 1/3 never was. What we learn is that Patrick has a big record. He's not the cleanest guy. Right after he and Eric did an introduction video called Meet Patrick and Eric, Eric learns that Patrick stole from his friend's grandmother because he was desperate for cash. Then with the youngest member of the family, Timmy, what started out as an innocent big brother moment between him and Timmy turned into what looked like grooming. Patrick took Timmy out to Victoria's Secret where they got caught filming women. He also took him to shoot birds. Think about it, a mentally challenged person to murder an animal. These are things Eric found out as months went on. Patrick was supposed to take Ray to the orthopedic office, but instead went to a concert and broke his own leg there. He asked Eric to let him stay in an Airbnb that Eric had been renting, and a week later Eric comes back to the unit and it is trashed, full of drugs and feces. All this is posted on the internet. The world began to learn about the new environment that was being introduced to Timmy, which was not a good thing. Enter BJ, recently convicted of stealing copper with others to sell at the scrapyard for her drug habit. The end of August saw a reform to remove BJ from the property. Mark first uncovered problems with BJ, and her legacy continues with Eric. Through talking to the Whittakers, we learn that BJ is still there with them in the summer of 2025. She continues to use drugs with her boyfriend after pleading with Mark she's going to do better. It's shocking to learn that BJ has also threatened to abuse Betty, Larry, and Timmy. It was witnessed from Betty that BJ has said to her own father, Larry, after she requested he get her money or other things, that she will tell the cops he raped her if he doesn't comply. Betty confessed to hearing that. She has hid Betty, she has hid Timmy. Lorene keeps telling people about her head, and when asked what it is, another member quickly says it's a bee sting. Lorene responds as always, no, and we as the audience also take her no as not literally, but meaning something else. Eric thinks this is suspicious, and maybe it's not actually a bee sting, as Lorene's no implies, and Lorene is trying to tell us something more. When confronted with the opportunity to remove BJ in August and early September, things seemed to go well. Betty agreed. She even went to court to testify. The judge granted motion and cops came and got BJ off the property. Larry personally drove BJ somewhere else. Everything looked like it was moving in a positive direction. However, things would quickly turn in a matter of weeks. The court order would only last 10 days until an extension was needed to be sought. Eric says he accidentally missed the court dates. He was trying to finalize the house with the Amish, its permits, and move forward with the Whittakers, which he admits to misinterpreting the days. Either way, on 3 separate occasions, Betty has had the opportunity to agree to continue the order of protection. Each time, she didn't want to continue it, and it was canceled. Eric found this out later after he visited the Whittakers within the first 10-day period and saw BJ in her trailer, which she wasn't allowed. He confronted them, just like how Mark confronted Betty about BJ's phony phone calls and the death of Larry in order to get money. It's like history repeated itself. Betty and Larry in this situation denied they knew BJ was on the property. It's Mark's frustrations all over again. Eric around this time scouted their property for a place to build their new home and noticed recently burned campfires deep in their woods. And putting it all together, it raised another red flag. Maybe BJ was hiding there all along and never really left. Maybe all of this was a ploy by the family. Eric is visibly upset. Patrick messed him up. The Whittakers messed him up too. So he admits he was the one to call Adult Protective Services. As uncovered by Mark, the Whittakers defend themselves and always have. They've protected BJ time and time again, and to think they would permanently remove BJ despite the abuse she gives them perhaps is a lost cause. If anything happened to Betty and Larry, who would inherit the new house? Probably BJ. Now Eric has let go of that dream. Ray is always covered in feces. He sits in his chair and soils himself. Nobody bothers to clean him up. Eric said they have feces stuck there for so long, fungus has grown on it. The place smells. Timmy and Lorene have wounds. And despite all the money they have received, over $150,000 from Mark, barely any work has been done to change the conditions, and in fact, the money is nowhere to be found. When asked where the money was by Eric, Betty said that she asked Larry, who was holding it, and Larry said it was all gone. Eric believes Betty really does love Lorene, Ray, and Timmy, and he regrets not realizing sooner that Timmy is not actually registered with a guardian. He is under law a healthy person and thus can move away from the family if he chooses to. However, it's too late. The state took him already. Eric wishes he was the one to take care of Timmy. Now Eric is trying to find Timmy, but as protective services go, they usually remove the members far away from the original environment without much information. The state probably received numerous calls. Perhaps it wasn't just the dirty conditions that made the state take action, but the revelations of abuse that finalized their movements. This is like a movie. What will happen next? I guess we'll have to wait and see. So thank you for watching. If you're still confused as to who is who in the family, do check that out, my family tree on them. I explain all their connections. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more. Each of your subscriptions does help this channel grow. It allows me to continue making more content for you. Let me know in the comments who you want to see next. I do make a list of our suggestions, and I will see you in the next one.